So, good morning, distinguished chairs, professor, and fellow researchers. My name is Pengcheng from Malaysia City University. Today, I'm honored to present my research at ICCI 2025-2. My title is Toward Emotion, Aware VR Filmmaking, a multi-mode diving frameworks from evaluating immersive narrative experience. So next one, I will show you my slide 2 is about background and motivations. The virtual reality films proved audiences with higher immersive narrative experience. However, the success of storytelling in this medium depends heavily on emotion engagement. So traditionally, emotions rely mostly on self-reports or intuitive judgment by directors. So the problem is such approach lack objective and date driving evidence. So the motivates my research to bring scientific evolutions methods into VR filmmaking. So next one is my slide 3 is about research gap. There are 3 major gaps in existing studies. So first, subjective assessments often suffer from recall bias and inconsistency. So second one is we lack empirical evidence about specific narrative moments in VR films evoke emotions. So and third, only the few studies apply multimodal emotion evaluations, comparing physiological and physiological data in immersive film contexts. So this is the gap I aim to address. So I will show you the next one. The next one is the slide 4, is research objectives. Based on these gaps, my studies has 3 objectives. The one is the purpose, multimodal framework for evaluating emotional responses in VR films to explore whether physiological signals, specific heart rate, and skin conductance can reflect emotion engagement. The third one is to investigate the relationships between these objective signals and the self-reported emotion experience. So next one is the slide 5, proposed multimodal framework. So here is the proposed framework. We capture 2 data streams: the physical recordings, including heart rate and galvanic skin responses. The second one is self-reported, so such rounds and narrative environment scales. So these streams the standardized and fused within the data analysis platform. So the integration enable used to see both conscious and unconscious emotion reactance to the frame. So next one. So the slide 6, polit study design. So to test the framework, I conducted polit studies. So the participants with 10 university study students aged 22 at 28, all healthy and with normal vision. So they watch 5 million narrative via short film use Oculus Quest 2 headset. So during the wiring, we record HR and GSR signals, use wearable sensory. So the procedure include calibration via film exposure and post surgery. So next slider is slider 7. This means data collection and processing. So the data collection inverted two key parts: the continuations recording the heart rate and GSR during the frame. So document participation of GSR into tunic and plastic composites for file analysis. So self-report data was collection use self-assessment machining. So it means the SAM scalar together with narrative environment questionnaire. So for analysis, all signal are z-score normalized and divided into film segments such as exposition, racing, action, and climax. So next one is the result heart rate tender. So the slide show heart rate tender across the narrative. We observed clear increase during the racing, action, and climax. The peak research 92 base per million compared with baseline of 78 BPM. So this is included strong emotional arousal triggered by narrative transition. So next one is the slider 9. It's about the result and calculation analysis. Next, we looked at the relationship between physiological data and self-reports. So we found the HR peak signals closing with highest self-reported arousal levels. So furthermore, the GSR values show the strong positive correlation with narrative environment. It means R equal 0.72. So this suggests the physiological data can indeed validate self-reported emotions. So next is the slide 10. It's all about decisions. For this resource, first, physiological signals can capture unconditional emotion reactions, and practical parents may not be able to verbalize. So second, emotional peaks clearly comparable to the narrative tracks for the VR film. So the VR filmmakers they prove valuable feedback. So they can test and refine story design based on data. Ultimately, the points toward the future of emotional aware adaptive storytelling in immersive cinemas. So next one is slide 11. It's all about conclusion and future works. To the conclude, this study dimensions that the multimodal frameworks is both feasible and effective from evaluation immersive film experience. So it proves objectives both to assessing emotional engagement in VR films. So for the future work, I plan to evaluate two large practical plans for stronger statistical power. And the second one is test across different genres of VR films to generate findings. So second one is explore real-time adaptive narrative system that adjust based on audience emotions. So next one is the references. Here I analogize the key references from these studies covering VR filmmaking, immersive media, and emotional research. These works proved the scientific and methodology foundation from my research. That's all. Thanks for your listening. And if you have any question, please contact me. Thanks again. Okay.